My name is Jim Barnes. I'm a Mohawk from Akwesasne. I'm a proud father of four kids, Galano Dugas, Lois Zungus, Galana Howie, and Onakwio. And I'm also a proud grandfather to two beautiful kids, Lodalatsa Leo and Skanawio. Looking as being a father, I was very fortunate enough and lucky to have two great role models in my life. My father, Jim Barnes Sr., and my grandfather, Tony Barnes. Both of them were big influences in my life, not only as a father and as a grandfather. Looking at how they went about themselves with their own kids and with their grandkids. Both of them did whatever they could for their kids. My father, I was involved with sports, and my father took me all over the place and make sure I had everything I needed to succeed. And my grandfather was a great man. He took us fishing, took us hunting, trapping, taught us about wood carving. Not only me but all of his grandkids. And the same thing with my father. I had two other brothers, and he was the same with them. Always there for them, took them all to all their sports, and he was always in the stands. And I think that's had a good positive influence in my life and is my viewpoint as far as becoming a father and becoming a grandfather. Those two people right there were big influences in my life. I think as far as the role as being a father and a grandfather, for me are the same in a lot of ways. You love them with all your heart. You will do anything for them. Whatever they need, you will try to get. You want to make them happy. You want to make sure you point them in the right direction. You want to teach them things. You want to teach them right for wrong. And you want to have a connection with them. And I think that's the big thing. Whether you're a father or a grandfather, you want to make that connection with your own kids and with your grandkids. And so being a father and being a grandfather, I think, is the same as in a lot of different ways. Everything that I just mentioned, I mean, caring for them and being there for them, I think is the biggest thing that you can do as a father and a grandfather. So the roles, I think, are the same in a lot of ways. I think the difference as far as being a grandfather, you have to take a step back. You have to step back sometimes and let the parents take the role and responsibility of certain things. And I'm fortunate enough to have a great daughter. Galano Degas is a great mom. And same thing, she does everything for her kids. So I know that they're in good hands. And they have a great father in Wayne Hill, and the same thing. I know that he's going to do whatever he can to make sure that they're happy. So having to take a step back, I'm actually okay because they are making the right decisions for them. At times it is hard because as a grandfather, you want them close to you. I mean, they do live 5 hours away. And if it was up to me, they live right next door, and I'd be able to see them every single day. But that's something that's not in my control. So as far as being a grandfather, that is a very tough thing to do. Is you only get to see them at certain times, and you make them. Obviously, I make the most of it. I spend as much time as I can with them. I try to get that connection with them, and it's very hard when they leave. But once again, that's the decision. That's not up to me. So I need to take a step back. But I have full confidence in my daughter and what she's doing as a parent. So it is hard, but it's comforting to know that I know they're in good hands. So that's a big thing as far as stepping back. Now looking back as far as being a father, is there anything that I wish I knew? Looking at all my four kids and looking over through the years, there's no manual. There's nothing that you can do to get you ready as far as being a father. You can get advice from people. Like I said, I had two great people in my life. My father and my grandfather. So I was able to take the experience I had with them and try to put that into my own. But you're gonna make mistakes, and that's a part of life. The mistakes that you make, it just makes you better. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And looking back, as far as being a father, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I really enjoyed being a father, and I still do. I mean, being a father, being there for them, being that person that's always there looking out for them, making sure that they have everything, making sure they're down the right path. I wouldn't change anything. Looking as far as all my kids, making that connection with them, having connection with every single one of them, watching them grow, watching them succeed in life, is one of the best things as far as being a father. And I want to be at that point where I'm comfortable letting them go. And I know one of my kids already, I'm very proud of her on how we already let her go. And I have three others that we're getting ready. And I want them to be at that point where I don't have to worry about them, and to be able to step back and look at what you did as a parent. So, things are hard, things are tough, life is tough, you're going to make mistakes. The choices that you make as a father, the things that you do as a father, some days are not going to be right, but that's life, and you learn from your mistakes, and you move on, and you make that connection, and you live the best life that you possibly can with them, because the memories is what they're going to remember. That's the things that they're going to remember. The things that you did for them is what you're going to remember. And for me, growing up, this always stands out for me, is looking in the stands and seeing my parents in the stands, and looking up and seeing my father in the stands, no matter where I played. I went to college that was 6 hours away, or 9 hours away, and I could look up in the stands and see him up there. And and I want to do that for my kids. Anytime my kids play, I want them to look up to the stands and see me standing up there, and that feeling of determination and being proud, and just having that comfort that someone's there watching. So being a father is tough. Being a grandfather is tough, but you do the best that you can, and you learn from your mistakes, and you make that connection, and you try to be the best father, and you try to be the best grandfather that you can possibly can.